I've often said, chums, that it must be quite difficult if you are in the Prince Harry inner circle, because according to people that were working for him, and many that I have spoken to, as you can imagine, over the years, they say that Harry's a nice guy, but is really prone to mood swings, and is either very elated and up and happy, or indeed in the depths of despair. Now this, I'm not crying this because clearly he's open about this. He's had many mental health problems himself and has been very vocal about this. But of course, one might have a little bit more respect if he didn't necessarily want to monetize it so much. If you remember when he sat down trying to flog his book Spare, and he had some kind of therapist where you could pay in and all that. But what's interesting about this is, as you can imagine, and as I mentioned this before, it must be very difficult if you are in that inner circle. And one might suspect, for instance, that's why previous paramours decided to bail out. But this really is taking it to a new height. As ever, let me explain. Morning, welcome one and all, and welcome to, of course, our wonderful community group. Welcome to you if you're new to us. Let's have a wave. Are you ever? 1, 2, 3. I hope you're doing this with me. I have to look at you, see these people. Don't laugh. We have to wave to each other. It's a good start to the day or a goodbye to the evening if you've had a lovely day. If you haven't, well, hopefully tomorrow will be a better day. And the only thing I can think about when I think about that is get yourself a vanilla slice. That always cheers up the day, doesn't it? It's terrible, isn't it? When a piece of food like that, a gorgeous bit of food, have you had a vanilla slice? Let me know in the comments. If you've never had a vanilla slice, you haven't lived, have you? All the chums that have had one, you know what I mean. There's nothing quite like it, is it? Out the fridge, pot of tea, absolutely delicious. And if you've had a bad day, well, it all passes away with the vanilla, doesn't it? Absolutely. I'm sure Prince Harry could do with a vanilla or two, let me tell you. This is because, as you can imagine, the difficult Duke really has sort of hit new heights. As I told you recently, he decided once again to try and make contact with the British Home Secretary over here, Shabana Mahmood, in a sort of new plot to try and get his security back. I mean, it's ridiculous. Just move on, let the world know that you've moved on, and enjoy your life out in Montecito with all of that accoutrement that you've now got. What is the problem? Clearly you've got security when you come back and forth. But it's interesting, in fact, because a source tells me that, for instance, Harry's new security fears have reached, incredible heights. Now, you may think this is odd, but I'll balance it out so you understand. You see, Harry apparently, not only when he came back to London, insisted on having his room swept virtually on the hour for bugs, and by that I'm not talking bed bugs, right? I'm talking microphones and stuff like that. And he's just paranoid apparently, even when he's out and about at, say, a particular function. He insists that the flowers on the table are removed or indeed checked instantly for bugs. He believes there's a microphone in the vase and that could be listening in. Underneath the table there could be planted, stuff like that. Even the salt and pepper pots. Now, before you go, oh, nuts, you're right. I know a lot of the tricks that, these sort of eavesdropper people do. For instance, the old pen trick, which is a very clever trick if you are a drug addicted star. Basically, you come up to the person that you want to get an autograph with. Your pen suddenly doesn't work. Use mine. Inside the pen, you sign with that, but inside is filled with cocaine. The star absolutely goes off with that, and that's how the dealer manages to get the gear without the rest of the staff. There are so many tricks I could tell you that I know about eavesdropping. But of course, if you're Prince Harry, your paranoia goes to the new level. According to a source, a very well-placed source, Meghan Markle isn't as fastidious at that. But Harry believes that wherever he goes, people are willing, paying heavily and desperately wanting to know how and what they're talking about. You see, Harry hasn't really realised that by having a role reversal of staff all the time, an ever-revolving door over at Archwell where staff are there, then they're not, obviously, even with NDAs and all of that sort of stuff, they're going to talk. And the problem that you have with that is it doesn't matter how well you treat them. If they've come to the end of their tenure and a celebrity magazine, maybe even those that perhaps your wife favours, you're right, if they get to talking to the staff, they are willing, in favour of maybe their next job, if they've got another client, they alone will give them these bon mots. And more importantly, as I said, Harry and his security, well, some people might say paranoia, I would say it's the world that he lives in, the celebrity world. Everybody wants to know the next secret. And Harry, even a sort of, a little pot of flowers on the table at dinner in a restaurant has to be checked. Because after all, the flowers could be listening in, right? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.